All right, what's up? Saints lose 17-19 to the Falcons, ending the 4-game winning streak. That could have been a 5-game winning, should have been a 5-game winning streak, to be honest. A couple of things go your way. It would have been a 5-game winning streak. But anyway, I mean, the future remains bright. It remains bright. Even in a loss, that's when you know you got something. That's when you know you got something. When you feel like this, even in a loss, last game. The saddest part is this is the last Saints game of the 2025-2026 season, whatever you want to call it. It's the last game. It's the last time we see the Saints for over 8 months. So we got a lot to talk about. The phone line's about to be open here shortly. The River Parish trash line be open here shortly, 504-265-0025. But let's get to some ads and we'll get it going. Hey, look, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook with the Boomers. HTM Live, it's got its own Instagram where we share clips and shit. And then I also got my own TikTok for HTM Live. Same thing, sharing clips on TikTok. And then right here, YouTube, this is the home of HTM Live, even in the offseason. Even in the offseason, every single Sunday. Now, we go to a later time. In the offseason, we go to a later time, which I'll let everybody know on social media when that'll be. But, you know, because you got big playoff games and shit, so you don't want to start the show at 3 o'clock, you know, or at 6. So it'll be a later time for most of the offseason. But anyway, hey, presented by Burkhardt AC Heating, Generators, Electrical. Give them a call. It's a good time. The Saints are done. It's a good time to get your fucking priorities in order. You know what I'm saying? You need a new AC. You need to probably look into that. Hit up Burkhardt, 985-626-7741. It's going to get hot as balls pretty soon. You know, a couple months will be back to hot as balls. Pretty much is hot still. But also, like, the generator thing. It's a good time to get a generator. So give Burkhardt a call, 985-626-7741, or go to burkhartsair.com. Also presented by the Compman. Give him a call if you get hurt on the job. You don't know what to do. You're just sitting on your ass, sitting in your sorrows. 504-838-8883 or www.compman.com. These are real attorneys. They're working for you in the workers' comp system. They're not just like office workers or like, you know, some people in India taking none of that shit. They are a law firm in New Orleans that's here to help you. Like I said, call them 504-838-8883 or www.compman.com. Also presented by Plate Mayo, who's been here for you since 1927. I know they had a Duke's Mayo Bowl this past weekend, but we all know who the king of that condiment is, and it's Blue Plate. All right, longevity wins, tradition wins. They've been here longer. Also presented by Harold J. Anderson Inc., certified professional landman. Give them a call, 504-276-5858, whether you're dealing with solar, pipelines, oil and gas. If you got a project going on that requires land support, these are your guys. So give them a call, 504-276-5858. They've been in business for over 50 years. They can handle anything to do with land support. So this is for the landmen out there. If you're in that industry and you're looking for somebody to call, these are the people you need to call, 504-276-5858. I got merch. I just put new merch in the shop, htmsports.com/shop. I got Mardi Gras merch I put in there. Respect Your Body, Comfort Colors, long sleeve tees. I got Champion, Respect Your Body hoodies. I got everything you need for the Mardi Gras season. These are always a hit. They already selling a fuck ton. We got to look at this motherfucker pocket shirts and shit. But anyway, I'm opening up the River Parish trash line, 504-265-0025. Shout out to all my sponsors this season. This isn't like just people that sponsor 1 week or anything. They commit to 18 fucking weeks of sponsoring HTM Live up front. And a lot of these, not a lot of them, all these sponsors that I have this year, they were here last year. They were here to, you see what I'm saying? So real relationships, real good people. That's why I just recommend if you're doing business with anything with them fields, talk to them people, bro, because they believe in me. You know what I'm saying? When not everybody does. It's just the facts of life. Spread quarters.
Spread quarters, bro. How we doing, Dave?
Doing all right. That's the thing, like feeling about as good as you can feel when you lose to the Falcons. I don't ever recall feeling this decent losing to the Falcons, but we know what was going on. We were missing 50 fucking players, throwing to Dick's Sporting Goods workers. I mean, it was incredible.
Throwing the fucking McDonald's cooks today, bro. Shough threw for 200 yards with McDonald's cooks out there running routes, dog. Making one-handed catches. We got McDonald's cooks making one-handed catches. So, I mean, I feel all right, even though, like, the shit, it stings, bro. It's been 2016 the last time they beat us 2 times in a year. I ain't gonna lie and tell you it don't sting, but, like, I get it, bro. He was out there, like you said, with fucking Foot Locker employees and UPS drivers. Me and you out there catching passes. So, I mean, I'll take it, bro, because you know what? We're going to be back next year. We're going to be back.
And you got to look at it like a plus, because here's a guy in Tyler Shough who not only has, to me, cemented himself as the QB of the future for the Saints, but also it don't matter who's on the fucking field. I said it last week. Tyler Shough get Macaulay Culkin 100 yards and a touchdown. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If they on the field. Dude, who is Ronnie Bell? You ever heard of Ronnie Bell up until today? No fucking way.
Anna Nicole get 50 yards for Shough.
Tyler Shough helping so many people out. He just got Ronnie Bell another season in the NFL. Like, that's the type of, this guy is humanitarian, to be honest.
Fact. Shout out him. I don't know who he is, but that one-hand catch was nice.
Filthy.
But Shough put that bitch right there too. But Shough put it right where it was supposed to be.
It was a great throw.
So that's why it was a beautiful throw. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it hurts because it's the Falcons, but shit, they ain't going, we ain't going. Shough looked good, dude. Like, try to tell me he don't look like the best quarterback in the NFC South.
Oh, he definitely is. I mean, he just is. I mean, look at Tampa Bay. They're not going to the playoffs now, obviously because of their own doings, not just because the Saints lost. But that situation with their quarterback, he didn't do enough to win games when it counts. He just didn't. Nope. Bryce Young,
quarterback beat him.
Bryce Young might have looked a little better this year, and look, he's serviceable. He ain't no Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough, 4th and whatever, probably get you a first down.
He gonna air that bitch out.
So,
I like that. Even though we had Uber drivers today, Dev. You know what I did like? At first I was skeptical with Kellen in the first half of the season, but he was letting him air it out to fucking, like you said, to Uber drivers. We was airing it out. We was taking the chances. Like, we were trying to go. We weren't playing no conservative, scary. We were going to win the game. So I mean, I fuck with that. And of course, I gotta shout out the boy again. Chase Young went fucking and Carl Granderson. That D line, you give them one more edge rusher on that fucking D line. That D line is a fucking problem the way they're playing right now. Tell me I'm lying.
No, you're right. I gotta go though. It's a long call for the first call.
Yeah, who that, bro?
Motherfucker, talk to you till February. Jesus Lord, first caller. Spread quarters, River Parish trash line business stinks, but it's picking up.
Devin, Matt in Boston, my man. Got through again, brother.
What's up, brother? What you got? Influenza?
Dude, I can't get rid of this cold, man.
Damn.
I mean, it sucks, bro, but I feel fine, but I just can't get rid of the nasal and the chest. Nothing hurts, bro. Hey, man, listen, the future's extremely bright. I mean, we start the game. First pass to Jawan, we fumbled, But like you just said, we get. I mean, look at the receivers today. I mean, big shout outs too to Chase Young, Granderson, and Cam Jordan. Man, they were phenomenal the last half of the year. Cam had a great year, man.
I mean, that's one of the things I wrote down for biggest takeaways of the season. First of all, Chase Young. Unbelievable. This should have made the Pro Bowl, got robbed, to be honest with you. But at least we know Chase Young, special part of the future of the Saints. He just is. I mean, he proved it this year. Cam Jordan and DeMario. But, really keying in on Cam Jordan just while we talk about it. What a season, dude. Finishes with, 10.5 sacks, 10 sacks, whatever. People were writing this dude off like he might get 3-4 sacks. Last year, he didn't do good at all when it came to sacks and shit. Dude, he had more sacks than fucking Pornhub this season.
Hey, Dad, listen. Another thing about Shough, man, he can run. Boy, can he run.
Yeah, he can.
He can tuck it and go, bro. And like you just said, he's definitely. We're gonna romp that division next year. We're gonna romp.
I can't wait, bro. Seriously, I can't wait to see what they do in the draft. Get some more playmakers around Shough.
Yep. Yeah, we need more. We need more playmakers. We need more depth. you know, hey, it is what it is, man. It was a tough loss, but we knew if we had Olave today, we win that game easy.
Yeah, it's facts.
I mean, easy.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, man, we do. You know,
you know how we win the game easy too? You know how we win the game easy too? If the fucking kicker, who we keep talking about how great of a story it is, makes the fucking 56-yard field goal. I know it's a 56-yard field goal. You in a dome, okay? Don't make me bring up Blake Grupe because Blake Grupe usually, that was one of his best qualities was he could make a long field goal. This motherfucker is missing a field. That you want to hear what the story is? He's missing a field goal a game. So I'm just saying, bro, you better bring in other kickers to try out because he ain't the certain one. There's no way.
Yeah, they were already anointing him as Morton Anderson, you know.
Almost missed a PAT. Almost missed a PAT. Yeah, bro. They gassing this dude up, bro. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, when it was 16-10, though, we were driving, man. I thought we were going to do it, bro. That was a tough one, man.
Yeah, he threw the pick. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake, you know. Yes.
Of course, man. This kid, listen, Deb, in the future, I am like we talked about last week, bro. The future is so bright, man. We're going to be really good next year, man. And it's, you know, 8 months like you just said, bro. But, hey, I'm going to enjoy calling you, man, from Boston. And, you know, that's all we can do, bro. And like you said last week, we're going to be sitting on a nice, comfortable couch for the playoffs.
Yep, with a lottery ticket that we can't cash in until next season.
This kid, listen, I don't care what happened today. This kid got balls, too. He ain't afraid of nothing.
Right, I agree.
I mean, he got balls, bro. He ain't afraid of nothing. But I'm really excited for the future, man. And it's been a pleasure talking to you this year with the Saints, man, because we struggled for 5 years, man. It was absolutely miserable. This is such a good feeling.
It was. All right, my brother. Look, take care of yourself, and you know we'll talk soon because I'm gonna keep doing the show. So call anytime.
Man, as I always, Devin, listen, my man. Listen, you're a good dude. I love what you do, bro, and I really, really appreciate you. You're like my buddy, man. You know, you're my pal. I like to go to have some gumbo with you someday or something. But that could happen in the future. But as I always say, Devin, who that from Boston, baby, and let's go.
Let's go, brother. Thank you for the call. Thank you for all the calls this season, bro. Definitely one of the fan favorites for sure. Spread quarters, River Parish Disposal trash line. Business stinks, but it's picking up.
Man, you know, I'm not even disappointed. I really think we got our future pretty secure. And to all the Falcons fans who may or may not hear this, flexing a win against a bunch of practice squad Uber drivers on the side, not an accomplishment. Someone got cooked by some dude named Ronnie Bell today. And you know what? I know next year, Saints are going to take the NFC South. We're winning at least 10 games next year with the talent we're going to bring in from the draft, free agency, and having dudes like Chase Young get some new life in New Orleans. After missing 5 games, he has 10 sacks on the season. That dude is a beast.
Yeah, I'm very super impressed with Chase Young. I mean, this is a guy that most fans were hard on because the availability, you know what I'm saying? Mainly the availability. And wow, what a stretch for fucking Chase Young, dude. I mean, he has affected every quarterback he's played like the last, I don't know how many weeks, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, I just had to issue a public apology to Tyler Shough. I was telling my friend during the draft, picking him at 40 was my worst nightmare. And when we picked him at 40, I called him because I was so upset. So, Tyler, I owe you an apology because you are the future in New Orleans. Still who dat for life. Fuck the Falcons, even though they won today. I'll catch you guys next season, man. See y'all later.
All right, brother. Take care. Who dat? Yeah, well, look, dude. A lot of people, I don't care what people say on the internet. I always say, man, anything somebody says on the internet, when you walk outside, well, they say the same thing if you see, you know. I believe firmly that majority of fans had no idea what the Saints were doing when they picked Tyler Shough at 40. No idea. Some had, like me, I had so much of no idea, to be honest with you, that I barely even commented on it. I was just like, all right, you know, all right. Spencer Rattler wins the quarterback competition. That only brought up the uncertainty of what was going on with that, right? So then it's like, okay, well, how good is he? How long is he going to take to develop? Bro, it was one of them things where you really couldn't believe it until you saw it. And then you saw it for all these weeks, and it's like, bro, you'd have to be a complete dumbass to not see how bright the future is for the Saints offense with him at quarterback. That's where I'm at on it right now. Spread quarters.
Hey, Devin. Yeah, we talked about that last week a little bit. The Saints definitely find some people that nobody really knew who they are, some gems in Tournament of Stars, and I think Shough's going to be a star.
Oh yeah, he's going to be a star. Like, I haven't even looked at if jerseys are in stock right now. If there's, I would bet that his jersey is not in stock right now, and that everybody's bought it up. That's how. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I don't think they need to bring Cesar Ruiz back this year. I think they could get rid of that dude to pick up somebody in free agency, shore up that offensive line, and we'll be good on that front.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this a few times. I think they need to really look in free agency to shore up that offensive line. I really do, bro. I don't think it's. I don't want to use the word necessary, but I'll just call it what it is. I wouldn't love to see him draft one, and I know we never do, but I wouldn't love to see it happen again in the first round. Not because we don't need it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just because the hit-miss ratio, it's so uncertain with Saints with drafting offensive linemen, the hit-miss ratio. Because look at Cesar Ruiz. What year is this? 6th? It's just not... It's risky, man. Trevor Penning, all that shit.
Well, hey, let me ask you this question. What position you think is the biggest need on the Saints right now?
I think you got to look at drafting some type of playmaker on offense. So I'd say a receiver, tight end. Juwan Johnson played great. I mean, he actually, broke the record for catches by a tight end in a Saints season. But it's something about Juwan, bro. Like, even when he fumbled today, the games leading up to him, I'm like, dude, he's just kind of dying to fumble. I felt it. Like, he's dying to fumble, bro. He's dying to fumble. And sure enough, he fumbles. Bad timing against the Falcons. If you want to fumble, go fumble against the Dolphins or whatever. Don't fumble against the Falcons, bro. It's a serious game, right? So, a wide receiver, tight end. I could see him drafting like a really freak D lineman of some sort. There's a couple different spots they go, but I think wide receiver, tight end, freak on defense, something like that.
Yeah, I agree. The problem with Juwan Johnson is he's either on or he's not. There's no mediocre with that guy. Dude, he's either on fire or on ice. One of the two.
Yeah, fumble, one-handed touchdown catch. There is no in between.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to next season, Devin. Hopefully they do good in draft free agency. I'll be calling in during the off-season, and actually like calling in the off-season just as much as the regular season.
Oh, I know you will, brother. You called in all last off-season, every show. So, much respect to you and much love, man. Happy New Year, and, what a season, bro. What a season.
Same to you, brother. Have a good Red Bean and Rice Monday tomorrow. Who dat?
The running back thing, I think you could probably look at in free agency too. I don't love drafting a running back with a high first-round pick. I don't. At the same time, it'd be like, okay, Jeremiah Love, if they did do it, I don't know. It's just tough, man. It's tough. When did A-Chain go? What round did A-Chain go in? Does anybody remember? Spread quarters.
Yo, it's Meatsy.
Meatsy, what's happening?
Man, hey, bro. The kid, I think, solidified himself today playing with a bunch of, I can't even name them, and still, I think, and you could almost see at the end of the game when he had enough, he was like, you know what, this is just enough. 3 plays, bam, touchdown. That's what he brings to the table. And just imagine him with one other playmaker, just one with everybody that we have, and we need better pieces. Just one more playmaker, and the kid's going to win you 7-8 games just like that.
Yeah, because really, bro, if you're the Saints, you got to shore up this receiver core. You're going to have to let go of a lot of guys you've been holding on to, hoping that they turn into something. And there's a lot of names that pops up with that, especially at receiver. Like a guy like Bub Means, I'm sorry, brother, just didn't work out. We need the space to where we can this would happen today with these receivers playing. And shout out to the ones that played good. And look, great story. it should never happen again. You should never be so down bad on receiver to where if 1-2 guys are out, this is what you're dealing with. You need to shore up that depth at receiver. It's a lot of guys that they think could be good or blah, 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 blah. They got to get over that, bro. Because what happens is those guys either get hurt, they wind up not being good, you know what I'm saying, or they don't play that much. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's exactly, like you said, Tipton's got to go. Means has got to go. You got a bunch of people, and we definitely have to shore up the kicker situation.
Yes.
Punter and kicker. Because, I don't care how bad it looked, even with Uber drivers, Charlie Smith makes the field goal, we win by 1 point.
Yeah, facts.
You know, the whole game changes. There's stuff, and I love the story. Yeah, it's great. It's Ireland, whatever. But you even tweeted it like, okay, forget the story. And it's right. Forget the story. We need people who can make a goddamn 46-yard field goal.
Yeah. And it was 56, but still, it's in the dome. Right? I mean, come on, bro. Against the Falcons, I see too many kickers in the league like make these kicks all the time, you know? So they got to take special teams serious.
That we're playing against makes them.
Yeah, we got to take special teams serious this offseason. That's actually one of the top things that I wrote down for biggest takeaways from this Saints season is they have to take special teams serious, bro. And yeah, the punter's got to go because he's the holder too. And at the very minimum, he's got to go because I've seen too many short punts that my next door neighbor could punt longer than. And then another thing is, if he's the holder, we've had no kickers succeed with him as the holder. That alone is sketchy. Sketchy.
Yeah, exactly. So so let me just ask you real quick. You agree with bringing back Cam and DeMario and letting go of Taysom?
You got to, at the very minimum, see if y'all could strike a deal with DeMario and Cam because of the veteran presence, and they still playing at a high level. And it's not like just generically saying, oh, they still play at a high level. No, dude, look at the numbers. DeMario Davis broke his all-time season high with tackles this season, and Cam Jordan had 10 sacks. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Anybody can learn from them too. It's a big, important piece because look at it this way. You take those two guys off the team, I'm sorry, bro. This defense don't perform like it does this season. I thought they had a pretty solid defense.
Defense is not our problem. Brandon Staley, you give him another year and let the people really get used to his system. Our defense is going to, I think, be even better next year.
And you need a big,
because he'll have another year.
You need a big step. Third-year step by Kool-Aid, who I thought played strong this year. I don't want to say he played at an elite level or nothing, but he took a step. He didn't decline, and he needs to take another step next season because I do see where he could be something. You know, at the very minimum, he could be a really good second corner, you know?
Yeah, and even Quincy Riley, he just needs more tread on the tires. You know, he just needs to play a little more. If I'm the Saints, though, and I'll get off after this, is I take it if Caleb Downs falls to me, I'm taking Downs to shore up the back end of my defense, and then you kind of don't have to worry about your defense. Maybe get you some interior O-line, D-line right there, and then you got to go all offense. Because if we can do that, then Justin Reed, who played iffy all year this year, you can kind of push him to the side and let Downs handle it. And we probably lose Alante in free agency, too, because we ain't going to have the money to pay him.
Yeah, he'd have to take a hometown discount if we do keep him.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to do that. Too many people are on the market already asking about him from what they're saying. So it's one of those. But we can get Downs, and then you take the rest of the time and you put the players around Shough and you develop that. I'm not saying, like I said last week, I'm not saying we're going to the playoffs. But the way the division won, that's something else real quick. If we would have won this game, we'd have been 4-2 in the division.
Yeah.
Better than everybody. So what the fuck's the point of playing division games if you have the best record in division, but you don't win the fucking division?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways to look at that. But all right, Mitzi, let me go. But I appreciate the call, brother. Who dat?
All right, brother. Who dat?
There's a lot of ways that could have went too. If the Saints would have beat the Dolphins, would have beat Arizona, you know, and went into this game, would have been win and get in. You know, so there's a lot of ways. It is unfortunate when you think about it like that. Yo, shout out Wes. Appreciate the love all season. Pretty much every week by Wes, man. Shout out to Wes. Koozie God. Shough almost beat Kirk Epstein's cousins with Uber drivers and receiver and Walmart door greeters at O-line. One last shoot out for the season. Shout out HGM Discord as always. Yo, shout out Koozie, bro. Braden, shout out to Shough for passing out church plates to the homeless receivers we had out there. 2026, we up. Always in favor. Fuck the Falcons. Heather Bennett, appreciate the super chat. The future is bright. Future is very bright. Should we consider can't guard Mike for a league minimum versus LHSAA 3A all district receivers? 8th pick, Love or Bain? I do love Bain. Shout out West. Appreciate the super chat. Spread quarters.
Hey, how's it going, Mayo? I feel good after this.
Yeah, feel pretty decent, man. It sucks that the football goes so quick, bro. Especially as you get older, it goes quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, which means, hey, it should be a quicker offseason, right? No, it always feels like a decade.
Well, it also don't help that it feels like it goes quicker because the last 4 years we haven't got any playoff spots, whereas we had a nice decade where we were in the playoffs every other year. But I know we're talking about Charlie Smith missing that kick, which that's on him. But I do feel like it's important to keep in mind that Kirk Cousins fumble was a fumble.
Oh, yes.
And they called it not a fumble, and they got a field goal off that.
Right.
So they should never even had that field goal when he was absolutely just pushing that ball forward with his arm. There was no forward momentum there. So that's just bad officiating, which I felt like was all over this game. But I don't know. I feel good. I like Shough. I was definitely a hater when we drafted him at 40, but I mean, hey, look who looks stupid now. That's me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, bro, whoever's saying that they knew for certain, they in a very small percent, and they must love Louisville football, which I bet on college football every week. You know what I'm saying? And I bet on Louisville, but I still just didn't understand how pro-ready this dude was. And you have to say he is, because he came in the first season. He's got the most wins, even with losing today. Tyler Shough finishes with the most wins by a rookie quarterback this season. So,
you think that's Kellen Moore? Does he just have that foresight? I guess we'll see with this upcoming draft. But Mickey Loomis has always been notorious for just not drafting well. And here Kellen Moore comes in, pulls this. So, I mean, maybe we get another great draft this year, because I feel like we hit on almost every pick this year.
Yeah, I think I think really what it was too is I think Kellen Moore is so deep into first of all, the quarterback position, knowing people around the quarterback position, knowing the coaches around I think that he knew Brom somehow. He got in touch with Brom and watched the film and saw everything, and he just couldn't. It was one of them situations where the whole public wanted you to draft another quarterback, and Kellen Moore could not be at peace with drafting anybody other than Tyler Shough. And if you want to talk about who was right and who was wrong, Kellen Moore was right, and everybody else was pretty much wrong.
Yep. Do you feel like, because I felt the second he threw that interception day, I felt like that was the offensive rookie of the year slipping away. Do you think that's still a possibility?
Well, it was between him and McMillan. And McMillan, I watched that game yesterday, and McMillan had, 80 yards. He had a good catch. He didn't have no touchdowns.
It wasn't a great game for him. I felt like after that game yesterday for McMillan, I was like, oh, if Shough has a great performance today, he gets it. That interception, because that was a bad interception, too. That was on Shough, because they read that slant just out of nowhere. They knew it was coming.
Yeah, I
feel like that's also on Kellen Moore for just calling slants the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's tough, dude, because he just didn't play enough games when you really think about it. So I could see him going with McMillan. Yeah. But also at the same time, even unbiasedly, if they went with Shough, you'd have to respect it. Like I said, he had the most wins by a rookie quarterback this season, and he only played half the games. So.
Yeah, and and I'm going to say this, I know we spoke before, this is Zach, live right outside Atlanta. I thought about going to the game today. I'm glad I didn't, because boy, it's not fun walking out of that stadium when you lose. I've done it a lot of times the last few years. The last season was the worst. But I really thought about it. You could get fifth row from the front in the end zone for $90. But then I had a feeling I backed out of it. I'm glad I did, because it's not fun, but I'm definitely going to when they're here in Atlanta next year. And I feel like we're going to win the South next year. We say that every year, but look at the way the South shook out this year. And it was only because of the Saints and the Falcons, the two losing teams, that anybody got in. If Juwan Johnson makes that catch against the Cardinals first week of the season, we're in the playoffs. If Olave makes that catch against Dolphins, and then today, I don't know, I feel like we're gonna have a great year, and it's gonna be another great draft. I feel like I'm looking forward to this offseason.
All right, brother. Who dat? Appreciate the call.
Who dat?
Tyler Shough on the season, he's going to finish with what? Let's see. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 games, which I hate to count that Rams game. They only had fucking 14 minutes of possession that whole game. But anyway, in that amount of games, 2,125 yards, 67.8 completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's just throwing. You know, we obviously know that Shough had some running touchdowns a la today as well. But I don't think that this is and I mean this, I don't think this is like look at the stats and see how he did type guy. No, bro. This is a will your team to a win type quarterback. Will move the ball down the field. Will make plays first, second, third, or fourth down. Can move out the pocket. Can get receivers who maybe weren't doing as well that was supposed to be doing well. He can get them to that level. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you're Chris Olave or if you're fucking Ronnie Bell. Doesn't matter, dude. He can get you to your... That's my biggest takeaway about Shough. He can elevate fucking players around him, bro. Spread quarters.
Yo, it's Billy from California. How's it going, bud?
What's up, Billy?
I'm feeling pretty good about this year, like coming up. Like, if we saw more deep down plays, like we saw some good ones, but I feel like if Olave was in, this game would have been very more elevated, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's what Chris Olave showed you, especially in the last stretch of the season with Shough, is that, bro, him not being in this game, we knew before going in the game that you missing out on 7 to 14 points right there, straight up. Like, that's how well he's been playing.
Definitely.
That's how well he's been playing.
Yeah, most definitely. It's my first time calling. I'm glad I got in. I love the show. I love everything you do about it. Love how you bring it to the city. I got a bunch of shirts, but I was saying if you could get some fat boy sizes, like a little bit longer sizes.
The highest they go up in comfort colors that I can order, at least right now, is 3X, 4X. They never got them in stock. They want to do a different material. So that's why whenever I can get 4X, I do get them. But a lot of times they tell me they ain't got it.
Most definitely, man. Hey, you keep doing what you're doing. I love watching the show and listening every Monday at work. You keep doing what you're doing. Who that, man?
All right, Billy. Who that, brother? Thank you for the call. Yeah, Kevin Austin Jr. had a big moment today to really... And look, they called a touchdown back. Pettis was the interference, whatever. But, man, Kevin Austin Jr. dropped a lot of balls, man. He dropped a lot of balls on a... This was a big day for him. You know, and Shough went to him a lot. Spread quarters.
What up, Devin?
What's happening?
Man, dog. I was telling my mom I wouldn't pick her up to bring her to the house to watch the game. I was like, look, Olave's out. We got a million reasons why we should lose this game. And we lost the game. But you know what I felt on the second to last drive? When we had the ball, when he threw that pick, I felt like we got a quarterback that's going to take us down there and score a touchdown and win this fucking game. And I ain't felt that in about 5-6 years. So that's a good fucking feeling, Devin.
Yeah, those type feelings that, okay, we down by 10. I think he could get us back in the game type feeling. All those different angles of feeling comfortable with the situation. Bro, he has given us that. And we know this because we went through shit for the last few years. That is not a guarantee with a quarterback at all. I mean,
and I am so glad he threw that fucking pick, because you know what he's going to be thinking about until September this year? He's going to be thinking about that fucking pick, and that's going to eat his ass alive, and he's going to come back next year and he's going to shit on the Dirty Birds twice.
Yeah, and look, you know, he shouldn't be hard on himself about that. He didn't do that as much as most rookies, right? I've seen him do it a couple times, but that's about it. You know, how about the Saints today controlling Bijan Robinson? How about that?
I mean, the defense has been spectacular.
Dude.
Brandon Staley's going to come back for at least one more year. After next year, if he does that shit again, somebody's going to give him a head coaching job. He deserves that shit. That man is a genius on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, bro. It was very impressive. I mean, Bijan is the best running back in the NFL right now. I mean, he had over 2,000 all-purpose yards. I don't have to look. This had to be his worst game of the season. He had 15 carries for 33 yards, a 2.2 average. And then he had, receiving-wise, he had 3 catches for 10 yards. I'm talking about Bijan Robinson, over 2,000 all-purpose yards. The Saints were not having it. None of it.
The only two things that pissed me off today: Juwan Johnson's fucking fumble on the first drive. Bruh, come on now. You at that point when Olave is off the field, you know you're the number one option. Don't fumble the fucking ball.
Yeah, timing.
Don't fumble the fucking ball.
Bad timing. I agree.
And as soon as Shough threw that interception, I had him at Rookie of the Year. I got that in at plus 2,600. I cashed that out as soon as the interception was thrown.
Oh, no.
If he wins that shit, I'm going to be mad as fuck. But
why did you cash it out?
I cashed it. I could have cashed it for like $100 on Monday, and then they announced Olave was out, and that shit went down to like 60. I cashed it out for like 35.
Well, how much you would have won? How much you would have won if he wins Rookie of the Year?
270.
$270?
$10 bet.
Oh, $10?
Yeah.
Still though, I mean you're not even that invested.
Season, I think he would have had to play perfect for that bet to hit. I think they were going to look for any reason not to give it to him for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I mean they're going to give it to Tet, and good for fucking Tet. He can have that shit.
Well, it sounds like you want him to get. You only invested $10. I would have just let it ride.
I mean, I made some money. I ain't mad at it. But let me get off the line, brother. I appreciate you for everything you do, man. You are the heart of Who Dat Nation, brother. Happy Red Beans Monday. What we down to? We down to like the last 6?
Something like that, yes. It ends.
Something like that, bro.
Yes, I think it's 6. I think that's where we at. So it'll go quick.
Who dat, bro?
All right, bro. Who dat? Damn, yeah, you gotta let that $10 ride, brother. I could tell. And look, if you want your little profit, and you one of them people where hey, I just want to get my little profit so I feel good. I get it, but you only had $10 invested. He might win. It's a coin toss at this point. Spread quarters.
Yo, man, what's up, man? It's Animal from Shough, man. How you making out, brother?
Well, yeah, the Animal. Shough Matt, huh? Let's go.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm not a native, but they took me in, brought in, several years ago now, and I'm there, man. Hey, look, I just wanted to say, first off, I want to say today sucks, man. It hurts. I know nothing really was on the line. You know, you weren't going to make the playoffs or nothing, but it always sucks to losing the Falcons. It hurts a little bit. It always does. I got a buddy of mine. He's immediately. I mean, as soon as that game went final, he's tasked. I went to text him, and he's already texted me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. And he just, we fighting back and forth. But anyway, it hurts. I got to deal with him for a little while. I told him this. I said, you may have won the battle. We coming, though. We going to win that war. Because it ain't over yet, boy. It ain't over.
No, we just going to shine up our swords and our armor. That's about it.
Hell yes, because we on the way up. We the ones rising up, not them.
Yeah, best way I can explain it is we both going to sit on the couch. The Falcons and the Saints. Except we sitting on a fucking beautiful, nice couch, paid off couch with a lottery ticket that we can't. We know we won, but we can't cash in the ticket until next season. Falcons, they just going to sit on a crusty ass couch, take a nap, a long nap, wake up, and be the same team again. That's what they doing.
Absolutely. Because and I asked him. I said, when I asked that question, who's on the way up? Because of course he said themselves. Because they just won. I said, man, we got that. We got that special sauce that we cooking with.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you're right. I mean, we got that Shough sauce. That Shough sauce. You put it on anything. It goes well with anything.
It does. And look, before I get out of here, I'm gonna say one more thing, man. Look, I found your show this year. Just this year. I'm so sorry I missed all these years, but boy, what a fun season it's been with you guys.
Thank you,
and all
brother.
the callers, freaking Gumbo, Gary, and where you at, dude. I want that T-shirt with the where you at guy on sitting on the couch watching the TV on the phone, dude. It's awesome. I want that so bad. I looked on your shop, I couldn't find it, but anyway, I loved it. It's been a great experience. Who dat? Fuck the Falcons. We out. We coming back next year.
Who dat, brother? Thank you for the call. Appreciate the support, man. I love it. Hey, if you ain't been here all 6 years, that don't matter. At least you're here now. You're here this year. I'm at the peak of doing this. What I mean by that is I'm the most comfortable I ever been doing this show, bro. This is something I know I could do for life, and I will. I love doing this show that much. Spread quarters.
Mayo, it's Clark Shark.
Clark Shark.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since I've called, but obviously we didn't end the season on the 5-game win streak that we wanted. But we got a future. We got hope with Tyler Shough and Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley. But we also have a lot to look forward to this offseason. Hopefully we have a good free agency and a good draft. And come August, Drew Brees will be inducted to the Hall of Fame as a Saint and not a Charger. I seen that shit they're posting on Twitter. He ain't getting in there as a Charger. He is a Saint. Brother, and I will be in Canton. Yeah. I will be in Canton for that shit.
I gotta go too. When is it? When is the ceremony?
It should be sometime in August.
Oh yeah, the Hall of Fame game and shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it should be August, and then they'll have the preseason start.
So what I mean, in Canton, Ohio, it's in Ohio, right?
Yeah, it's 4 hours from me in West Virginia.
So, Canton and August. What else is there to do out there? I guess they just got I bet you they just got this whole thing all week.
I've went before on an induction weekend. Like induction weekend, there's a bunch of events and shit going on throughout the city. But other than that, it's just the Hall of Fame. But during induction weekend, they'll have a bunch of stuff going on and all that. So I'm going up probably for 2 days.
I'm gonna see if
they do a concert before if you go for the Hall of Fame game, and the Saints may be in the Hall of Fame game with Drew getting inducted. But they'll have a concert, and I think they said Lainey Wilson is going to be the show for that. So I mean, there's going to be some stuff to do.
I'm gonna see if GNO Sports will send me out there to do media. That'd be fire. But all right, bro. Well, look, appreciate the call. Who dat? And I'll see you in Canton, motherfucker.
Yep. Who dat? Hey, I'll get a hold of you. Who dat?
All right, brother. Yeah, I gotta go. I've said since I was I'm talking about a teenager. I was like notorious for saying lines like, "Oh, I gotta be in Canton when Drew Brees get inducted." And I'm talking about still had plenty of years left to play. I used to say that shit all the time. So I gotta go. That's, you don't say something like that so many times and just make it something in your head that's gonna happen and just not go. You can't do that. I don't go a lot of places. I'm going now. I gotta go to Canton. Spread quarters.
Yo, Mayo, it's Q on Cam, dude.
What up?
Yo, just real quick, I got your merch in, dude. Thank you. I want to say, honestly, I really only have a couple things to say, dude. I mean, it fucking hurts losing to the Falcons, dude. It's last game of the season. You know what I mean? I know our playoff hopes weren't there, but it still fucking sucks to get swept by them, dude. I know I said a few weeks ago that, we may need to, draft a running back, but, dude, I mean, if your running backs next year are Kamara, Neal, and Estime, I feel like that's not a bad fucking running back room, huh?
I'm going to be honest with you. That ain't enough. It ain't enough. I'm going to tell you, dude, the main thing is, and I love Kamara to death, and he's going to be here next year. I have full faith he's going to be here next year. It might be his last year, whatever, but I think that he feels the same as guys like Cam Jordan, DeMario feel as far as, hey, we want to be a part of whatever this is, for at least another year. I feel like he feels the same. The Devin Neal thing just hasn't been able to stay healthy since he got here, and it's a hamstring. That's not good. And then Estime, I like Estime. Estime, he runs great in the fourth quarter. It takes him too long. Them first few carries looked like he was running in mud. Just not enough. So you'd have to have one other back that you feel good about. And to me, it's not Kendre Miller because, again, healthy. Can you stay healthy? So the Saints got room to add a running back, bro. They do.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to mention, dude, I don't know what it is about this organization and their love for Pettis, bro. I don't get it. And I don't think I ever will.
The Saints will always, until we are dead, gone, and a memory, the Saints will always have an obscene amount of love for this one receiver. All right, they did it with Tommy Lee Lewis for so long. Oh my God, they did it with Tommy Lee Lewis so long, bro. They did it with who was the other receiver that they kept bringing up? Fucking Callaway was another one. Tommy Lee Lewis, and there was one more that they just kept bringing him up, and I
like Lil Jordan Humphrey or like a
Lil Jordan Humphrey. Lil Jordan. That was more of a Sean Payton thing, though, and that's what Sean Payton does. He'll hang on to a motherfucker. I mean, look at he's still got Troutman. He's got the fullback Prentice that used to be here. He's hung on to guys forever. Yep. But yeah, they'd always bring these same guys up. Wanting to look at nothing else. It's these same guys, and Here we are again, and now it's fucking Pettis the last couple years, and I've thought the same thing. Don't get me wrong, Pettis has made some plays the last 2 weeks. He has. But I'm gonna tell you what he's not great at: returning. He sucks at return. I'm sorry, bro. There's no speed on him at return. He used to be good at it, but he's gotten older.
Right. Yeah.
Keith Kirkwood
going into the offseason.
Damn it. Keith Kirkwood was like the all-timer. They'll still call up Keith Kirkwood.
I mean, shit. I'll take him. Fucking look. The last thing I kind of wanted to say was going into the offseason, dude. I think the fact that we don't have to get a quarterback, man, that puts so much relief, at least on my shoulders. And look, dude, now you don't have to bank on some dude who's never taken an NFL snap. You got yourself the guy. And I don't care how you may end up feeling about him. I don't want to end up like the Commanders next year, dude. I know I'm kind of bouncing around with ideas, dude, but if we go into this offseason and we buy into the right players, we won't. But if you look at what happened to the Commanders this year with injuries and buying into the wrong players, dude, it fucked them hard.
Yeah, they got to know that, and I'm sure they do, and they just can't. And guess what? With the history shows, the short history, the 1 year history of Kellen Moore being here, that they're not going to do that anymore. At least they're going to get mostly hits in the draft. They needed it, and they need it again. Same feeling, they need it again. So appreciate the call. Who that, brother?
Yeah. All right. See you, man. Bye.
Kevin White, dude. The names: A.T. Perry. Hey, for real though, the Saints. I don't know why they didn't call up Kirkwood for this one. They should have called up Kirkwood for this one. Kirkwood would have went for 150 today. I mean, he's got the experience. He knows the Saints. Shough would have got Kirkwood 150 yards and a contract next year if Kirkwood would have played today. Spread quarters.
No, it's Double Gary, baby. I got the flu, but it do what it do, baby. Who that, baby? I don't give a rat's fucking ass. Tyler Shough, Offensive Player of the Year. Fuck everyone and fuck Atlanta. Get the Lombardi ready, baby. Get the fucking Lombardi ready. It's coming home, you motherfucker. It's coming home. I fucking love the Saints. I hate the Falcons. Who that, baby? Who that, baby? Shrimp Coco Gary making a tape, baby. We're making a whole album. Who that, baby?
Can't hold Gumbo Gary down, bro. A lot of people sick right now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to overcome adversity to call this show right now because everybody's sick. A lot of people sick from all the way down here in New Orleans all the way up to Boston. Everybody's sick, dude. Spread quarters.
Mayo, what's up, man?
Hey, what's happening?
Not much. Disappointed end of the season, obviously. But it was encouraging because you see Shough doing his thing. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get Player of the Year. But if he had pulled off that comeback, he for sure, I think, would have locked it up. So sad to see that. But I'm very encouraged and hopeful for next year because I think, obviously, over the last 5 weeks, that coaching staff definitely sees what they need. And this is the only time I'll ever say this. The tradition that the Falcons have of labeling us as visitors every time we come into town actually was appropriate because I'm willing to bet that half of the active roster today at some point was a visitor in the Saints facility today or throughout the week. Just because, we got a bunch of guys off of practice squads from all over the country trying to make it happen, and they were valiant efforts. But I think we just made one too many mistakes.
Yeah.
which kind of kept us out.
Yep, that is what happened. Whether it was the fumble in the beginning of the game, whether it was the missed field goal, whether it was the getting to the goal line and not scoring, or one thing about Kellen Moore, this offseason, man, he's gonna have all these months to figure out how to get a yard. All these months. So when he comes back next season, look, a lot to be happy about. A lot of good happened. A lot of progress. You got your quarterback. Man, figure out like 20 plays to get a fucking yard in the offseason.
Yeah. And one thing I also want to see going into next year, yeah, I mean, you said it all this season, essentially, since Shough started playing, that we are a second-half team. I don't want to be a second-half team,
yeah.
All right? We got to start off hot, especially when you got some of your stars out. We can't mess up. This can't be we figure it out as we go, building the plane as we're flying it. We got to have it, 3.36, full inspection, know where it's going to take off, know we're going to land, all of it, man. I don't want to see us, crawling back into games that we should already be ahead in, especially when you look at the first half statistics and how we were rocking the Falcons, but the block punt definitely hurt. I missed the fumble by Juwan. I had to hear about it later on the radio. And then obviously the interception by Shough, which I believe was his only mistake in this game. Cause I mean, he was trying to make it happen, in your words, with Uber drivers all around him. So God bless that man, but I'm very happy. We got a quarterback, and sorry, man, I'm distracted running in the background with my kids, but as sad as it is that they'll never know Drew Brees, they'll get to know Tyler Shough. So hallelujah for that. But that's all I wanted to say. A great end to the 2025 season. And I'm ready for next year already. Go Saints.
All right, brother. Who dat, man? Thank you for the call. That was a good line about the baby didn't know Breeze, but he'll get to know Tyler Shough. Anyway, dude. All right, so these are my biggest takeaways for the season. So Shough's your guy for the foreseeable future. He can win a football game. He can move the ball consistently. He can elevate all the players on the offense. So you saw everything you needed to see from Shough to go right. Kellen Moore did a lot with a little, but he's got to get in his bag on that short yardage shit. Chase Young, he's special. Chase Young going to be a special part of this defense moving forward. Not an old guy yet. He's still pretty young. So if he can pull off seasons like this, the next few seasons, he's a big part, man. He's our best player on defense. Might be our best player on the whole team this season. Like really that effective. The Olave and Shough connection, that's a real connection. So you're going to have to figure out whatever you got to do to get Olave back. You're going to have to figure it out because Olave playing mid, and don't get me wrong, he made his fair share of mistakes. But a lot of that was to do with the quarterbacks he was playing with that weren't playing to his style. I mean, Derek Carr was throwing him hospital balls. Spencer Rattler just wasn't able to air it out to Olave enough. You can see what happens when Olave, has a quarterback that can air it out to him on the go route, whatever. It's a big difference. All you got to do is go look at the numbers. With Olave last year and the first few games this year, I know he was hurt a lot last year, but you look at this stretch since Shough's been in, incredible numbers. They're going to have to figure it out. The Saints need to take special teams serious. This off, they got to they got to look at a punter, look at a kicker, all that shit. They got to figure it out. You need more playmakers on offense. Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, they can still play at an extremely high level, man. They proved it to you. Demario, most tackles ever in a season in his career. Cam Jordan, over 10 sacks. So I just don't. And that's before you talk about the mentorship and what they bring to a young defense. It's big time, bro. So I think you have to find a way to get them back. You have to. That's not something I even felt sure of at all in the beginning of the season, whatever. But, man, what a season by those vets, man, in so many ways. Taysom, hell of a run, brother. We'll love you forever, but I think this is it. Spread quarters.
Yeah, this is the vet man.
What's happening, brother?
I agree with you 100% over there, all right? Look, man, I'm finally glad to see Gumbo Gary talking some actual sense. But anyway, you know, I really hope that the front office kind of gets the head out the rear ends. We're really close to this whole cap situation, and I think we got a lot of talent in the building. And I know you were talking earlier about needing one more running back, but the guys that we got in the room, they're doing it all for us. So I think it's worth a shot to save a little bit of money as they talk about going out to get someone like Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker. They're going to be really expensive, man.
No, you know? I don't think they need a running back at that. No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Rico Dowdle might be available for cheap. You know, the Panthers really screwed the pooch son to Chuba already, but you know, whatever.
But that's a good example right there. I don't think as much to Rico Dowdle because he had a good season, so he's gonna want some money. Running back, I mean, how much money are you gonna really get as far as like a cap hit? I don't think it's something too, but I don't even think you need a Rico Dowdle type caliber to add. I think a Chuba Hubbard, that would be like a perfect example of what I'd like to see, that type of player. You add that, I mean, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, the numbers wise, dude, I think if we can keep it under 6 for a running back, like 6 is like the maximum with bonuses and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe someone like Brian Robinson, who, you know, he's overshadowed by CMC, but he's still a good back himself. Here's what I really want next year, all right? I want a nice, good, talented wide receiver out of the draft. I don't care if you take him number 8, all right? It's very obvious that we can't do anything without Olave. I'm not saying that makes him a number 1, but we're treating him as a number 1. Right, he needs some pressure taken off him. Not to mention he's a little fragile with all his concussions. Right, so if we can get someone to help out the passing game, I think we have the guys in the building for the running game. Our defense, minus the corner, has played really well. Young safeties, they're going to learn. Not a whole lot that Quincy could do this game, just from the sheer size difference between him and Drake London. But I think we got a lot of talent. I'm not giving Mickey Loomis any credit for last year's draft because we've seen a lot from him. But last year's draft and a good next year's draft could really set us back up to get in the NFC South.
Hey, amen, brother. Amen, man. Appreciate the call. Who that,
well, look,
dude?
I enjoyed listening for a season, my brother. We'll talk to you in a couple months. Who that?
All right, brother. Take care. Who that? Yeah, of course, Vele should be back. My thing is, whatever position that you have, because that's the thing, man. For the most part, the Saints were a pretty healthy football team this year. I mean, you had some big injuries like McCoy early again, and well, it wasn't as early, but you've had some big, but it wasn't like a high volume of injuries. So you got to keep with that method, right? Like, you don't want to like have a bunch of running backs. Like, let's say you have 4 running backs on the active roster come the regular season. You don't want to have 3 of those guys as injury-prone running backs or have shown you in the history that they injury-prone. Like, that's one thing that the Saints really do have to get away from, man, because, for instance, I mean, look at Kendre Miller. It's every year there's an injury, right? So to me, you ask me right now, as good as, like, Kendre looks when he's healthy, it ain't good enough to outweigh how he's always hurt, right? The Devin Neal thing, to me, like, I was very excited about the Devin Neal pick, but it's like a hamstring injury. You know, that sucks, man. Like, of course, he'll be here next year, but you don't want to hang on to it too long because the next thing you know, you like the situation with Kendre Miller. You've been having him for a few years now, and it's kind of just like the same old story, you know? He's not there. He's not there. You need to have – I don't want to – in all respect to Evan Hull, I don't want to see Evan Hull on the active roster, right? And that to make sure shit like that don't happen – you have to have good depth at running back of guys that have history of staying somewhat healthy. You got to look at that, bro, because that's what hurts you. Dude, if the Saints would have beat Arizona or Miami this year and this came down to a win and get in and we had all these players out, come on, bro. Like, you're so close, right? But you need to make sure you don't take a step back with that, man. You got to let go of these injury-prone guys. You got to and I feel the same way about the Pelicans too, bro. It just, that can really deter your franchise, bro. It really can, man, when dudes are just consistently injured. Spread quarters.
Yo, is this Who Dat or whatever, Hold the Mayo?
Well, yeah, it's Hold the Mayo. I mean, I'm not Who Dat. Who Dat's what Saints fans say.
All right. Thank you. Finally, I was trying to get on call a couple months ago. I never had the chance to, so now I finally got on. Thank you for letting me join. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah. So basically, honestly, I felt bad for you guys this week. You know, like honestly, I'm sorry that you guys lost, and I'm sorry that you didn't make the playoffs. Like personally, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan myself. I've seen it all, bro. I've been a Buccaneers fan since I was like a little kid, right? But this year, man, you guys going 1-7. And then you winning all the rest of your games, bro. Like that, it's even though you didn't make the playoffs, you did pretty good considering where you were to begin with. And I give kudos to you for that. Also, have you ever heard of a guy named Canadian Cohen? You know, the guy that came onto your show a couple times.
Yeah,
that dude. He's one of my bro. That dude has caused so much beef with me, bro. Like I'm not kidding you, because me and him, he likes the Saints, I like the Buccaneers. And literally, this kid, he's not a nice kid, bro. Like I don't know who put him on your show, bro, but he literally is not a nice guy.
It's a public show, so you can show. It's just look, my man. It's not orchestrated. It's not orchestrated. It's a public line, so nobody put him on the show. He calls in just like you did.
No, I mean but he bullies people that are disabled, bro. Like I know this kid personally. Wow. Like he's not a nice kid. Right. I'm just saying this.
Well, look. All right. Well, look. Here's the deal. You're one person. I've never met you. It's the first time you ever called. I appreciate you calling, but this ain't E-Channel or anything like that. Like all that gossip stuff. Like I don't know if you telling the truth, lying, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So before we start just throwing out these crazy things about a kid, I think he's 15. He's 15. If he is doing those things, he's got a lot of time to grow up. And hopefully.
But here's the thing, though. It's I have my own channel, right? It's called King of Hamilton. I basically promote the city of Hamilton, okay? And basically all he does, bro, is he always disses my channel. So I don't get that. I'm not trying to I don't want to show hate or whatever. I respect everybody. I respect everybody for who they are or whatever. But I feel that that some people out there just need to learn to respect people for who they are. And honestly, I'm trying to make a difference in life. And I get what he's doing too. I get he's gone to the same schemes and all that. But honestly, I feel that for him to just grow his mindset, because he's now 15, right? I'm 17, right? So I just want people to get along, and I don't want people to fight. And honestly, what you're doing is a good thing. I've supported the channel. I actually heard you from him or whatever. So you're just doing a good thing in general, man. And I love what you're doing. And honestly, just keep up the good work, because I'm not trying to cause no profanity, no nothing. You're a good man. What you do is great, and I support you 100%. Even if I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, you're a good man, bro, and I hope you get more attention because you are a good person.
All right, well, look, dude, I appreciate the kind comments, and I appreciate the call. You can call back anytime. But yeah, I gotta go.
I'm sorry I dissed him, but I think that
it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter. I mean, it is what it is. It's a public call line, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna turn it into E-Channel though. But yeah, I mean, all right, I gotta go. Much love, man. Take care of yourself.
I love your content, man. Peace.
Got a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old beefing. They both probably creators. I can't control no daycare like that, man. Sprite quarters.
What's up there, brother? You're Unit from Slide Out, man.
What's happening, brother?
It's happening. I gotta go on after that knucklehead called in about his bro from Canada or whatever. What an idiot. We ain't got time for that fucking bullshit. It's fuck Atlanta Falcons and fuck his Tampa Bay Buccaneers too. Fuck them all. Who that? Love you, bro.
All right, brother. Who that?
Later.
Love you too. That's the Unit from Slide Out. He's a legendary HTM call. He's been calling in for a few seasons. You know who I always said this. You know who I picture in my head when he calls? The fucking guy from The Waterboy that's rubbing his tits and shit with the overalls on. That's who I fucking, every time I hear his voice, that's the visual I get, is that guy. Sprite quarters.
Hey, this is Cajun Goat, brother.
What up, Cajun Goat?
Still like the game today, my man, and you just see so many positives. And I think the one thing we're not talking about enough, I mean, we're excited about Shough. We already know this, right?
Right.
But the thing we're not talking about is how great this defense has been playing.
Yeah.
Do y'all understand that the Saints got in the end zone more than the Falcons did today? And the Falcons had every one of their starters. I want to get some shout out to the D line, man. The defensive tackles, man. Yeholan Bishon's been running crazy their last 3 games, and he couldn't even. I don't think he broke 50 yards today.
Dude, it had to be his worst game of the season. Had to be.
Had to be. I mean, every time he touched the ball, he had guys glued to him. I'm liking this kid Martin. He's got a chance to play since Brazee's been out. In Ridgeway, I think Ridgeway is a guy we picked up who was pretty good for the Redskins a couple of years ago. Yeah. And those kids have been playing really good, man. You see it every game, them making plays. And I think that opens it up for why we're starting to see our defensive ends, being able to be one-on-one with guys out there because they can't handle those big guys in the middle. So I think that's another thing nobody's been looking at. But I think that defense has gotten a lot better. I think the coach is doing a fantastic job with those guys.
Yeah, and look, they got a ton of D tackles too. Like, you want to talk about some guys that they probably could, relieve their duties for the Saints. I mean, they could definitely trim up the D tackles because they have so many. And keep in mind, they drafted one in the 3rd round this past year. Yeah, he barely even played. He was out most of the year. So has he played one game? Maybe one game. But anyway,
no, I think he was out for the season. I think he had a season-ending injury.
Okay, yeah. So you have so many, and you still got the guy from a couple of years ago that you drafted, Christian Boyd. That's another one. You got Brazee. You got Godshaw.
Yeah, he was having a great year before he got hurt.
Yeah, Ridgeway. So they definitely, and they use pretty much all those guys.
And Shepard had a good year too. Shepard had a good year.
That's another one. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. But yeah, dude.
But I think the run stop defense of late. Compared to the beginning of the year, man, it's been tremendously different. I think this D coordinator we got is very underrated. The guy's always had a top 5 defense since he's been in the NFL. I think he's going to get the Saints back to that type of defense, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he plays, like, especially in the passing game, he plays somewhat of a conservative type defense with the passing game, but it's effective, man. And then they key in on stopping that run, bro, which – at the end of the day, bro, if you're going to be a good team, you're going to have to run the football, and they don't really let you.
Yeah, they don't. And that just opens it up for Chase Young and Cam Jordan. And I really, the enthusiasm that Cam and DeMario have right now, man, I really hope they're back on the team next year, it would be stupid of the Saints not to have that type of veteran presence in the locker room, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like these guys play harder for those guys, and they're getting that, and these guys are not, their productivity actually went up this year. Mario's productivity went up this year with a new D coordinator, and Cam made it known why his productivity went up. He says he's not an inside guy like Dennis Allen was trying to play him. He's a end. He's a pass rusher. He's not a D tackle.
Right.
I hope those guys get to come back and, get some weapons for Shough, maybe some more. And I'm going to say something else, man. I know our big rookie tackle went out, but I didn't think the guy that took his place did a bad job, considering, he got thrown in there. I thought he did a pretty good job, man. I thought the offensive line got a little bit better as the season went on, but they still need guys. I don't think they have the guys yet. As long as 51 gets off my roster next year, I'll be happy. Because 51, I know we didn't see a lot of him today. I know he did decent today, but 51 is not going to be all around starter, bro.
Oh, yeah, Ruiz was back this game. Yeah, I didn't even fucking notice. Jesus.
Yeah, you didn't notice because he wasn't letting nobody come through. But they had a lot of max protection, too, so that might have helped.
Right.
And I tell you what, I would probably keep this cat on the team, man. He does a great job in pass blocking, dude. He picks the blitz up every freaking time. You go back and look at his tape, Mayo. He picks up the blitz every time he's in the game. The only time we get smoked and sacked is when he puts that stupid-ass kid Hall in there, which he'll be gone by the end of the year. I'm pretty sure they're going to release that cat. He hasn't done nothing for us since he got on the roster. Yeah. But Estime is really good at pass blocking, dude. And not only that, I like how hard he runs. He runs hard.
Yeah, it just I feel like it takes him a while to really get going.
Right.
But he made even when it wasn't really going his way. I mean, he had 21 carries today, 63 yards. But even when it wasn't going like tremendous in the yards per carry, he goes and he'll go catch a football, which was impressive.
Yes. He reminds you a little bit of Pierre Thomas. Like he's got that screen game down pretty good, bro. For some reason when we run the screen with him, he does it pretty well. He can break tackles, and now that I don't think guys really want to hit him. He's a pretty big ass dude.
Yeah, he's like 220
going down the field.
It's crazy. But
what are you looking for in the draft this year?
I'm looking for a playmaker, dude. I don't want to ever have a game like this to where we ain't got no depth at receiver like this. It's got to end. There has to be somebody other than Olave.
What's the free agent market? Do you know anything about the free agent market and what it's going to look like for wide receivers?
Well, I don't know. I really don't. I haven't really looked at it yet, to be honest. But I also think that this is a position that you could address in, like, even if you don't do it in the first round, you could do it in the second, third round, whatever. I forget which picks the Saints don't have. I'm just talking here, but you could get a good receiver in the second or third round if you just focus in on who's the best talent receiver wise in one of them rounds. You could find it. You could.
I would like to see also a tight end. Because we're really thin at tight end.
We thin at tight end. We thin at tight end.
And I don't know how many coming out of this draft that's going to be great. And also addressing the kicker, dude. What do you think of the kicker out of Ole Miss?
You talking about drafting the kicker?
Yeah.
I can't let that.
Like late round, like way 7th. They don't draft kickers early. But I'm saying like
I can't let that position take over my life like that. I mean, we've been dealing with this kicker shit all season, dude. Seriously, bro. Yeah. I know it's a problem, but I don't want to make it like we wake up in the morning thinking about what kicker we could get in the draft. No, man. There's good kickers out there. I think it's not just the kicker. I know people thought I was crazy when I was saying this, but I truly believe that this punter, I truly believe that he's at very minimum, he's a spaz. That's what I think. He hasn't done any one thing outstanding and consistent. So why should I believe that he's a good holder? I could be completely wrong. I don't have no facts on this, but something tells me, bro, the guy that punts 17 yards probably doesn't hold the fucking football that well either. So I don't know, man. They got to look
I'm gonna give you a little eyeball statistic real quick on Charlie. The kicks Charlie missed all were on the logos, on the paint.
Yeah.
Every kick he missed was on paint. Now, I don't know if it's because of the way the fields are painted in the middle, but every kick he's missed this year was on the paint. Anything that wasn't on paint, homeboy was perfect.
Right.
So I don't know if that has something to do with it, with the holder and all, or whatever's going on, but
I think that
I don't know.
Look, we want to talk about paint, we go to Sherwin-Williams. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to talk about paint without kickers, bro.
Yeah, I know, but it's slippery there too. But I'm just saying, is the dude not seeing it or whatever? I don't know what the hell. But it's everything, dude, that was on a logo out there. He kicked it the exact same way, and he kicked it the exact same place. If you go back and look at it, you'll see it, bro. But I mean, I think great season altogether, Mayo. I think we got a lot of picks in this draft. If we can have another draft like we had this year, but we'll also have a little money in free agency. Interesting to see who they're going to go out there and get in free agency. But, man, what a great season. And I know we can say great season with that record, but, I mean, I think it's a great season because you found your QB1. I think you got a defense that's going to be a contending defense, top 5 defense next year with this coach. And the only last thing I'm going to say about the game today is get off on Kellen Moore's play calling people. He had guys from the fucking post office running routes. The one time he changed the route by the end zone and you get a touchdown, the two motherfuckers ran into each other because they didn't know where they were going. So, yeah, he had a limited playbook today. It was way more open in Tennessee. It was way more open. But when you ain't got motherfuckers that never played before, how many routes you going to get them to run that they're going to know what the fuck they're doing? So that's all I had to say about that. And who that, baby?
Who that, brother? Yeah, groupie 8 for 8 in Indy. Yeah, it should, but we know the thing with groupie was it was just you couldn't take another. You couldn't take. They gave him such a long leash, bro. They did, man. They did everything they could, and people know that watch this show, bro. I knew that motherfucker was gonna go to Indy, and be unconscious, bro. Because again, it could just be something as simple as the fucking holder. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it could be. You know, because Charlie Smith missed a field goal of the game, bro. We talk about his great story. Well, the story to me is for him, he's missed a field goal game. What did we lose by today, dude? We lost by 2 points today. So yeah, dude, you know, man, special teams up there for me for what the Saints got to look at fixing this offseason. Special teams is way up there for me, bro. They got to look at that shit all offseason and get it right, bro. Because wins and loses your games. It wins and loses your games, bro. It's we seeing it. We saw it. Yeah, sometimes kicking's mental. Sometimes it is, bro. Sometimes it is, man. I'm going to take one more call, bro. We got a big game tonight. You got Ravens, Steelers. Lamar is playing against Aaron Rodgers. Win and get in. This is a win or you got to retire game, maybe, for Aaron Rodgers. Do you see the Steelers bringing back Aaron Rodgers? I don't know about that. I don't know. Spread quarters. Last caller.
What up, Devin? Through that Roll Tide.
What's happening, bro?
Sorry about the weekend for you. I know we both bet them.
Yeah. I mean, I told you, bro. They, you know.
Yeah.
That's every time I bet on Alabama, bro. And I bet them plus 7.5.
I know. And they let us down again. I bet them 20.5 and they let me down before. But it is what it is.
Dude, they got
I'm not calling for Bama. I'm calling for the Saints.
I know you don't want to talk about Bama because that was a fucking mauling, dude. That.
Shit, yeah. And that, look, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from the North Shore. Like, I get it. Only reason I'm a Bama fan is because my dad used to take me to the Tulane and Bama games when I was a kid. He wasn't much of an LSU fan, so it was just a thing that kind of developed when I was a child. But anyway, let's talk about the Saints. It just is what it is. It's a rivalry. It could have went either way, and I get it. But, man, it really sucked on that first drive when Juwan Johnson fumbled that ball. Like, that was a big difference in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, it bad timing. You don't want to fumble against a rival like that. First drive kills momentum. I mean, they looked like they were going to score that drive, right? I mean, you made that big play.
Yeah.
Hold on to the ball.
I think.
But at the same time, Juwan Johnson, he's been itching to fumble. He's played good the last however many weeks. He's been itching to fumble. And that's
you ain't lying.
It's one of the things about him.
Brother. You ain't like, dude. He's a God-fearing man, just like DeMario Davis. But bruh, you can't give it up in a rivalry game. I feel like all the rivalry games, whether it's Carolina, Tampa, or most importantly Atlanta, they're gonna give up some kind of big turnover. And we gave up 2 big turnovers today. We got the punt block and the fumble with Juwan Johnson, and I feel like Juwan Johnson was the biggest one.
Well, and then of course, I mean, technically the pick was at the end, the interception, but.
Yeah,
that's from they went to that slant route repetitively, just kept going to it, and just kind of.
Well, they just knew we was weak over the middle, and not necessarily weak over the middle, but like I knew I seen when Kool-Aid McKinstry when they looked like they was playing some zone, like he didn't fall off his zone and go back to that drop coverage.
Yeah.
Drake London was wide open.
Yeah.
Like it was no sense. There was no sense in that, And they're professionals. They got to know better than that.
And they've had problems with that miscommunication in that same part of the fucking end zone
all year. But look, I really like your show all year, every year. But just want to hit you up one more time, before the year's over with.
All right, brother. Well, look,
kind of bitter.
Appreciate it, man.
A little bitter.
Yeah.
A little bittersweet, but, I still follow you, love the merch. Go get it,
Hell yeah, brother. Who dat, man?
Who dat? Roll Tide.
Alabama lost me a lot of money, man. I mean, they got smoked. It was embarrassing to the SEC. It really was. It was embarrassing. Ole Miss. What a win by Ole Miss, man. I got to be honest, man. This kid, Trinidad Shambliss, he is a fucking dog. He refused to lose against Georgia. He wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to lose to him. What a performance by him. So there you have it. I mean, what is it? Indiana, Oregon, Ole Miss, and Miami, who, man, Miami beating Ohio State. Miami looks like really dangerous, bro. Their defense is that D-line, Bain. They run the ball good. You know, when you get to this part of the season of football, when the games all matter, man, you got to be able to run the ball. And they got a motherfucker who can run the ball, bro. Miami does. So, man, don't sleep on Miami. Don't sleep on Miami, bro. That's all I can say. Don't sleep on them, dude, because as long as Carson Beck plays serviceable and the defense is playing like that, he just got to play serviceable. Now, a lot of times he'll fold under pressure. He hasn't been. So watch out for Miami, dude. One SEC team in the Final Four, man. A lot of SEC teams got put right out, bro. And then the bowl season for the SEC, it's been rough. So, man, SEC, they got to get it together, man, because it's just not what it used to be. Because everybody's got money now. Texas Tech, by the way, Texas Tech, never again. I will never bet on fucking Texas Tech ever again, dude. That was embarrassing, bro. I don't care how much money you spent. Motherfuckers couldn't score a point. Somebody tweeted this, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. If you don't score a point in the college playoff in a game, you should not be allowed to go to the college football playoff the next year. You shouldn't. To not score is insane. Bama, too. They kicked a fucking field goal just to say that they scored. That's all they did. Fuck that. That was awful, bro. By Bama and Texas Tech. Couldn't even score. Fucking Ty Simpson got pulled out the game. I mean, just a complete loser egg. Spread quarters, last caller.
Yeah, Devin, this is Ben from Dirty Dell Ben. I'm not sure if this was said today, but there's one silver lining to the Saints losing today. I know we all want the Saints to beat the Falcons, but the only silver lining is that by Carolina winning the division, the Saints are still tied with Tampa for 7 division wins. Because if we would have won, Tampa would have won the division, and they would have had the NFC South wins, and they would have a record. So we're still tied with Tampa for most NFC South wins. That's the one silver lining from today.
Well, we had 4 though. Didn't we finish with 4?
No. I'm talking about NFC South wins.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So titles. All right, yeah. And we're coming back to get. Look, we reclaiming it next season, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They're not gonna be able to play this shitty ass football all year long, and us not. Dude, we are literally one game away from this being a win and get in game today. One game. We're one game away. So they got lucky. Right. They got lucky.
Yeah, we're getting back the record next season.
Yes, sir. Sure. All right, brother. Well, look, appreciate the call. Who that, man?
Who that, man? Fuck the Falcons.
Fuck them, bro. All right, dude. I'm about to get out of here. Big game tonight. Win and get it. Dude, somebody said it in the chat, and it is going to be cinema. Dude, Aaron Rodgers. I got to be honest with you. If I got to place my bet right now, and Lamar Jackson's back, I got to go with the Ravens in this game, dude. I got to go with the Ravens in this game, bro. And Lamar's due for a big game. Lamar is due for a big game. So if I got to pick right now, I got to pick the Ravens. And I think this will be it for Aaron Rodgers. I hate to say it. But I just can't see the Steelers bringing him back another year. That would be, I don't know. Who knows? DK Metcalf is back or no? This game. Has it been 2 games yet? Or he'd be at this game too. But anyway, hey, shout out to the chat, man, all season long, bro. Nothing but love. Before y'all get out of here, man, throw a thumbs up on the stream, man. Last Saints season stream, I still do the show every Sunday. It'll just be at a later time. At least it'll be at a later time, especially while the playoffs and shit on, because I don't want to go do the show when there's a big playoff game on and shit. So what I recall the last few years is what I've done is I've done the show around 10 o'clock, shit like that, late at night, way less calls, a good time to call in, because not everybody's up and shit, really. And we talk about everything, man. We talk about what's going on with the Saints, the Pelicans, LSU, Louisiana sports and shit like that, but also, big sports headlines, big things going on in the sports world. We talk about it all, bro, all in the off season. I rarely miss. If I do miss a show in the off season, if I miss a week of doing a show, it's because I had to take a vacation. I had to get out the house. I had to, just catch some fucking ad, dude. But other than that, man, mostly every single Sunday, still live. I'm still gonna schedule it, and all that shit still on Apple and Spotify if anybody wants to listen on audio. But yeah, dude. So definitely be doing HTM live forever, bro. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, dude, last show of the season. Shout out to all my sponsors and my sponsors who are renewing for the off season again, bro. Like, that's a big deal, man. That they renew in the off season. That shows a lot of support. So shout out to all my sponsors. I know Workers' Comp, they've already opted to renew for the off season all the way up until Saints season. It's just look, this works for certain companies. And I believe that I got the right ones, bro. So shout out to all my sponsors who've been sponsoring this show for a long time, man. Show's always had sponsors. Even when I had no following, I come from sales, so I was filling up these spots even when I had just a few followers, just for a few bucks. And it's grown so much, man. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to the Saints, man. I love this team. Black and gold until I'm dead and cold, bro. Black and gold till I'm dead and cold. I got merch, htmsports.com/shop. Check it out. Mardi Gras merch. Limited. And yes, this is the end of All Being All Day coming soon. So I saw somebody in the chat. It is. So I'll probably still sell some merch for All Being All Day even once it's done. Probably, here and there, special occasion shit, stuff like that. But yeah, we're moving on, man. We're moving on. Obviously I'll be vlogging and look, bro, look at this whatever way you want to look at it. I know I ain't going nowhere, but yes, I'm ending that series. It's 6 years of every single Monday. I'm ending it peacefully with a lot of clarity, bro. So much love to everybody. I'm out of here. Who dat, baby?